I wish this president would learn how to be an American.
All right, now that's not just some angry guy in the radio here that you've never heard of. That's John Sununu, the top Romney surrogate. He's a former governor of New Hampshire. Now, if you have any doubt if this campaign is getting uglier and uglier, you haven't been paying attention. And guys, he is not alone. I could bring out tons of Rush Limbaugh quotes here. Andrew, usually, this is September before somebody gets really ramped up. If you go back 4 years ago, we all saw Game Changer. You read the book. You had the McCain loyalists who were tamping down, the Palin folks who wanted to go with the Reverend rights and the whole bit. But that was not too far from the general. We're in July, and this stuff's coming out. And again, he's not the only one saying this.
You know, it's interesting. Your pal Bill O'Reilly was here yesterday on the panel, and he said that the attacks on
nice Bill O'Reilly,
the nice one, right? The one who would, be welcome here. He said that the attacks on Romney were basically because the Obama. They don't have anything left in the tank. They don't have any other play to sell their
agenda. And he's not the only one saying that.
No, he's not. I would argue that when you start hearing in the same day John Sununu and Rush Limbaugh starting to challenge the legitimacy of this president again and dredging this whole thing up again, this is a last gasp. This is a bit of a Hail Mary to try to get the conversation
I don't know if everybody heard the
of
Limbaugh shot. Let's take a listen. This was today, I believe, right?
I think it can now be said without equivocation. Without equivocation, this man hates this country. He is trying, Barack Obama is trying to dismantle, brick by brick, the American dream. There's no other way to put this. There's no other way to explain this. He was indoctrinated as a child. His father was a communist, mother was a leftist, sent to prep Ivy League schools where his contempt for the country was reinforced. This is what we have. As a president, a radical ideologue, ruthless politician who despises the country and the way it was founded and the way in which it became great. He hates it.
Okay, now we can say, hey, that's Rush Limbaugh, but we show what Sununu said. You think we're going to hear a lot more of this between now and then? I'm not saying you'd advise him to do this, but you think this track of he's not really one of us, he doesn't really love this country.
Yeah, I do. I think the principles and the policies put forth by this president are dismantling some of the American dreams, and I think that's a very...
Give me one that dismantles the American
It's the redistribution of wealth,
it hasn't happened.
Growth of the federal government, Obamacare. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Couldn't you make the same argument about Mitt Romney if he wants to dismantle the safety net, that's destroying the American dream for people?
Because I don't think he's ever said he wants to dismantle the safety net. Have you heard him say that?
He certainly wants to cut Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. That's his
economic
plan.
It's more simple than that. What he talked about the tax cut, and I don't want to get too much into policy here, but he's asking people at the top end to pay exactly what they paid in 2000. He's asking them to pay less than they paid under Reagan. Less than half of what they paid under Eisenhower. I can go through the list here. How is that hating America and dismantling it? There's no fact at all to this. And I'm saying, you got the right, you got the left. There's really 7% in this country that haven't made up their mind. Okay? So how do you get to the 7%? Is this a winning message?
I'm not going to defend Rush Limbaugh in saying that the president is un-American. I think that's a little bit inflammatory rhetoric. But I do think there's a very strong feeling amongst independents as well as the right that feel that the direction this president has taken this country over the last 4 years is a very clear trajectory towards a European socialistic style policy. And
I think if you want to say that he's harming the country, I understand that. If you want to say you disagree with his policies, I understand that. The whole un-American notion, to me, the outsider,
Don,
there's only one reason I can think of.
There's a reason why I'm being quiet here. Because no offense, we can dance around this all we want to, but people of color know what Sununu and Rush Limbaugh, I don't know why people listen to that man, but we know what this is code language for.
What's that?
We're not stupid. Do you really want me to say?
Sure, why not?
They're saying, they're reminding you of the first black president. Let's get rid of this black president. That's what they're really saying.
Why don't you just bring a T? Put it on the set.
That's not what I thought I was going to say. No.
Yeah. But here's my question, though. Politics, good or bad? Because for me, I don't think it's good politics because This isn't the primary. Now you're in the general. He had to tack back to the middle. How is this stuff? And it's not just Rush.
It's good politics. It's good politics.
I think you turn more people up
You
than
know
you
why?
win.
You know why it's good politics? Because we find it disgusting here in New York, but it will play in Iowa and
But
Michigan.
those guys are already voting for
It'll
Romney.
turn out the base. It'll remind you why you don't like the black president. Let's cut through all of this nonsense, and it will turn out the base even more.
It has nothing to do with race. It has to do with a very clear set of principles.
I'm surprised you didn't say Barack Hussein Obama.
They might as well.
You won't
now.
hear that
Might as
out of my mouth. You won't.
Not you, but all right.